What is going on, coaches? How are y'all doing this Tuesday evening if you're in the East Coast? Welcome back. Sorry about last night. We had a storm just came out of nowhere, knocked the internet out and the power. It didn't come back on until about 9:30. Thought y'all would be asleep because Lord knows I was, and I just decided to push everything back a day. Today we have Coach Adam Bishop. Now, if you saw one of the showcasts that I did, Coach Bishop is an 8-man football guru. He is scoring like 70 points a game, which that is right up my alley. And today he's going to do a couple of different talks. What he's doing is he's going to say his first one is like, hey, if you're going from 11 man, which he was, down to 8, this is what you have to do. Then he's going to go over some concepts that work really well in 8-man football. Then he's going to go into pass protection. It is an all-encompassing 8-man football clinic. You're going to love it. I know I did. And to answer your question, Coach Burns, I've never used game strat, so I have no idea. Sorry to tell you that. But now let's get into this freaking amazing presentation.
Hello, my name is Adam Bishop. I'm the head football coach at Region Prep in Tulsa, Oklahoma. In this video, I will discuss concepts we have found to be very effective in our extreme tempo spread offense. We began the football program at Region Prep 9 years ago, and we have had many growing pains. Our first season, we only had 10 players. Many of our players are first-generation football players. Our extreme tempo philosophy is more than just a way to play the game. It is a mindset. This mindset has allowed us to average more than 50 points per game over the past 5 seasons. These concepts have allowed us to set numerous state and national records. The question I'm asked most often is, how do I decide which play to call? One of the most important things a coach can do is study film to become as familiar as possible with your team and your opponents. When you know your team and your opponents, play calling becomes much more clear. Knowing how your opponent prefers to defend certain formations and plays is an important part of play calling. At times, we have certain plays ready to call for when our opponent chooses to defend us a certain way. One-on-one matchups are key to any spread offense. Making tackles in open space is one of, if not the, hardest thing to do in football. We want to take advantage of favorable one-on-one matchups whenever possible. There are 6 concepts that I think you must be able to execute in order to counter anything a defense may be able to throw at you. I will share several plays for each concept. You do not have to be good at all of the plays within each concept. Before we break down plays for each concept, I will go through the concepts quickly. Concept 1 is the inside run. If you have the players with the physical ability to run over your opponents, you should do it. Concept 2 is the outside run. The outside run is a good way to get undersized linemen in space where they can become more effective blockers. The third concept is the option. Option plays may allow the offense to not account for one or more defenders. Option plays also have the potential to neutralize a strong defensive player. Screen passes are a large part of our offense and put a lot of stress on any defense. Short passes can be a very effective way to get the ball to your best players in open space. Deep passing plays make the defense defend the field vertically, thereby not allowing them to crowd the line of scrimmage. The first concept is the inside run. To me, the most simple inside run play to execute is the dive. On this play, we execute a simple quarterback dive. The running back does not get a good block, but we are still able to make the first down. The next inside run play that we teach is the draw. Here, the defense matches our numbers in the box, but our quarterback does a good job of moving the linebacker with his eyes and attacking the vacated area. The third inside run play is the inside zone. We are not a big zone team, however, there are teams that are very good at it. On the zone scheme, offensive linemen will block on a 45-degree angle to the play side. The tight end at the top of the formation here We'll try to block our defensive end out, allowing the running back to find room inside. One of the most popular inside run plays that we see is the power. Terminology varies on what coaches call this scheme. No matter what you call it, the play can be very effective against a defense that struggles with pulling linemen. Linemen to the play side of the power will down block, while the backside guard will pull and kick out the defensive end, as the backside tight end will pull and lead into the gap. On this play, our opponent runs the power scheme away from the motion. The final inside run play that I will cover is the trap. We run the trap play when we have the defense outnumbered in the box. It is important that the ball carrier gets upfield as quickly as possible. The next concept is the outside run. Being a spread formation team, we run the motion sweep with regularity. On this clip, we execute the motion sweep from a 2x2 formation. Our motion man makes a good cut, and our receivers get enough of the defensive back to allow for a big gain. Another outside run play is the outside zone. Again, the lineman will step at a 45-degree angle to the play side, with the tight end attempting to pin down the defensive end to the play side. Here, the running back does a good job of helping the tight end at the point of attack. The quarterback sweep is a play that we use to give us a numbers advantage and to set up perimeter RPOs. On this play, the defense is aligned in a 2x2 look with 4 defensive backs. We pull our left guard and lead with our running back. This allows us to get extra blockers in front of the would-be tacklers. I think it is safe to say that everyone in America runs some version of the sweep. We like to have our quarterback turn his back to the defense, causing the ball to disappear from view long enough to cause the defense to hesitate. On this play, our quarterback turns his back to the defense while the backside guard and tight end pull to get in front of the running back. The final outside run play I will discuss is the toss sweep. This is a play that works well from under center. Since we are in the shotgun virtually 100% of the time, we've replaced the toss sweep with the swing pass. In this clip, we could have the quarterback quickly toss the ball to the running back, but by having the quarterback hesitate, the running back has time to get wide and hopefully flank the defense. The third concept is the option. Our favorite option to run is a simple speed option. Our tight end to the near side of this play will release inside the defensive end. The quarterback will attack the defensive end, making him decide to take the ball or the running back. The triple option makes the defense prepare and execute assignments well. This shows one of our opponents running a triple option play. We adjusted our defense to look like a 4-3 in order to have the dive back, quarterback, and pitch man accounted for. The veer is another type of option. This play is also referred to as the read option. Here, the veer is executed by an opponent from under center. The quarterback does a good job of reading the defensive end, who shifts down just before the snap. The fourth concept for effective offense is the screen game. The swing pass is very effective in making the defense defend sideline to sideline. As we just saw, we use it as part of our running game. We can also use it from empty formations. When we see the defense matching our numbers in the box, we try and take advantage of matchups outside the box. In this case, we want to make the ends and linebackers chase us to the perimeter. Bubble and tunnel screens force the defense to play honest in the secondary. Here, our quarterback recognizes an outside linebacker coming on a blitz from the top of the formation. He quickly gets the ball on a bubble route to our tight end. This is a tunnel route, again to the top of the formation. Although our receiver is getting single high coverage, we are able to get our tight end and running back in front, leading to a big gain. Bubble slip and tunnel slip give us options when the defense begins to cheat up on our bubble and tunnel plays. On this play, we have two receivers left of the quarterback. The inside receiver runs the bubble route as the defense steps down just enough to allow our outside receiver to fake a block and get upfield. The outside receiver to the bottom of this formation runs the tunnel screen as the inside receiver does a good job of faking his block and releasing upfield for a nice gain. The slip screen is a slow screen that is used to slow the rush of a defensive front. Here, the quarterback does a good job of drawing the defense to himself as the offensive linemen keep their head downfield. We teach the linemen not to look behind them on the slip screen, but rather keep their eyes downfield for the most dangerous defender. The fifth concept for effective offense is short passes. The hitch route is very effective in spacing the defense horizontally. This creates many favorable one-on-one matchups. We are aligned in a 3-by-1 formation here, and all three receivers to the trip side are running the hitch route. They do a good job of keeping their spacing. The next short route that we teach is the out route. We do not teach our quarterback to throw many routes on receivers' breaks, including this out route. I see teams spend a lot of time in practice working on throwing routes out of the break, and then in game speed situations, the timing is thrown off and incomplete passes result. The inside receiver to the top of this formation is running the out route. He catches the ball around 2 yards across the line of scrimmage. Ideally, We would like him to catch the ball closer to 5 yards across the line of scrimmage. Another short passing route is the slant route. On this play, the outside receiver on the left of the formation runs a quick slant. He does not release off the line of scrimmage at the defensive back. Rather, he tries to beat him across the field as soon as the ball is snapped. The final concept is the deep pass. The go route is probably the route that our receivers and quarterbacks have the most fun with year in and year out. Often, when we put 3 receivers to one side of our formation, we are able to get single coverage on the backside. Here, we get single coverage at the bottom of the picture, and our receiver does a good job of getting separation and tracking the ball over his shoulder. Another effective deep route is the post. On this route, the middle receiver runs the post route. The inside and outside receivers do a good job of keeping the attention of the secondary. The corner route is a deep route that we use a lot in our offense. We can use this route anytime we think that we can beat the defense to the edge of the field. On this play, our inside receiver to the bottom of the formation runs the corner route, and our quarterback does a good job of putting air under the throw. The final deep route that we routinely use is a crossing route. This route is a staple of the air raid offense in 11-man football. When running the crossing route, we teach our receivers to start across the field at a 45-degree angle as soon as the ball is snapped. The receiver should continue to gain depth across the field until the ball is thrown. I hope that you're able to adapt these 6 concepts to improve your offense in season to come. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please email at abishop@rpsok.org. Be watching for more videos on our 8-man spread offense coming soon. Hello, my name is Adam Bishop and I'm the head football coach at Region Prep in Tulsa, Oklahoma. In this video, I'm going to talk about the adjustments that we have made moving from 11-man football to 8-man football. Making a seamless transition to 8-man football has allowed us to set numerous state and national records. One of the first differences in the 8-man game from 11-man is the field size. Field sizes vary by state. Some states play on a full 11-man field. Others play on a full 100-yard field that is 40 yards wide. And others play on an 80-yard field that is 40 yards wide. In 11-man football, there are 7 players on the line of scrimmage. In 8-man, there is only 5 players on the line of scrimmage. This slide shows the difference in 10 personnel between 11-man football and 8-man football. Most 8-man teams take out their 2 offensive tackles and 1 receiver. In 8-man football, you only lose 1 eligible receiver from 11-man. This can be very tough on defensive coordinators who lose 3 defenders. In this slide, the eligible receivers are highlighted in red. Here is a look at the difference in 11-man 11 personnel and 8-man 11 personnel. And here's the difference in 11-man 12 personnel and 8-man 12 personnel. This slide illustrates the defensive differences in 8-man football. Teams that use a 4-3 in 11-man often convert to a 3-2 in 8-man, dropping 1 defensive lineman, 1 linebacker, and 1 defensive back. A 3-4 team in 11-man may convert to a 2-3, again dropping 1 player for each position group. One defensive advantage in 8-man is the defensive ends are often much closer to the ball than in 11-man. This can make the quarterbacks have to make much quicker decisions as those defensive ends and defenders are closer to the ball upon the snap. As shown in the next two plays, the quarterback is flush from the pocket in this play as the defensive end gets very quick pressure. And on this play, the defensive end rushes quickly over the guard and the quarterback does not leave the pocket soon enough. One of the biggest adjustments we have made when moving to 8-man was putting our best defenders at defensive end. Where we may have played them at linebacker in 11-man, we feel that putting our best players at defensive end gives them more opportunities to be involved and even control the game. In this play, our defensive end at the top of the screen does a good job in reading the mesh point of the running back and the quarterback and making the play. With 8 defenders and 4 eligible wide receivers, it's difficult to play zone coverage. When we do ask our players to play zone, we're asking them to cover a lot of ground. Because of this, we spend a lot of time teaching man techniques. Our players take pride in their man coverage. Here's a play from a state championship game where our defensive back is out of phase but makes a good recovery to knock the ball away. Here's a different defensive back in a different state championship game. He does a good job closing and makes another good play. No matter what level of football you're playing, players must be able to tackle. In 8-man, there are many tackles that must be made in the open field. On this play, our kickoff coverage unit does not do a great job of breaking down and tackling the ball carrier. But our kicker's ability to execute an open field tackle bails us out. Now I'll talk about some of the offensive adjustments we have found most useful. As we've already talked about, 8-man offenses eliminate 2 tackles and 1 wide receiver. Here's the difference between 2x2 in 11-man and 2x2 in 8-man. It's a very significant difference, as 2x2 in 8-man is an empty formation. The same is true of a 3x1 formation. In 8-man, 3x1 is always an empty formation. This leaves less players in pass protection. However, it also forces more defenders into immediate pass coverage. The 8-man running game has many similarities to the 11-man game, and in my opinion, that's why many 8-man coaches prefer running the ball to throwing it. It is what they are familiar with, and why they continue doing it when they move from 11-man to 8-man. Here, we take advantage of a spread-out 2-3 defense and run a traditional trap play for big yards. Here, the defense is in a 3-2, and we are in 11 personnel. We're going to pull our backside guard and tight end, running a traditional sweep play to outnumber the defense at the point of attack. Often the quarterback will not have a large pocket to operate from, even if the line blocks well. The pocket will be smaller, and therefore the quarterback must have good footwork and be able to escape the pocket and throw on the run. When designing an 11-man passing play, coaches often include a check-down receiver. The check-down receiver is often a luxury not afforded in the 8-man game. It's often essential that quarterbacks realize at times they will have to run the ball to gain yards when no check-down receiver is available. 8-man pass protections are similar in design to 11-man pass protection schemes. The edges are often closer to the quarterback, as we showed earlier, and on this slide, we illustrate our base protection. It is important that the quarterback knows which defender is coming free if the defense decides to play cover 0. This is our slide right protection from an empty. The quarterback again must know which player may come free and be able to slide away from that defender. The same is true with our slide left protection. Our fan protection is made for when our quarterback can easily outrun the nose guard. This allows our center to block the second level linebacker if he comes on a blitz. Our roll protection gives our quarterback the opportunity to take the edge on passing plays. He may also run with those. Also, it gives us a chance to run away from superior defensive ends or double team superior defensive ends if we roll to that side. This is an illustration of the roll right coverage, and here's the roll left protection here. Finally, the inverted pocket is something that may be unique to 8-man football. We simply have our defensive ends, we pin the defensive ends down, giving our quarterback the opportunity to roll right or left. We invite the defensive ends into the A-gap and then pin them down on either side so that our quarterback can escape either right or left. No matter the school or roster size, the passion, community pride, and team brotherhood is huge in 8-man football. I hope you've enjoyed this video transitioning from 11-man to 8-man football. My email address, 8manairraid@yahoo.com, is on the screen. If you have questions or comments, please email me. Thank you for watching.
There you go, coaches. Coach Bishop, thank you so much for doing that. I know that if I ever get to 8-man football, I am going to dominate because I'm going to do exactly what you do because you're so successful in it. Coaches, thank you for being here. Tomorrow, again, 8 p.m. Eastern, we are rolling. We've got some good speakers continuing to come on. You're building your program. You're getting into it. Until next time, let's continue to master the spread, score points, and have fun. I will see y'all tomorrow.